Fireflies, Our City, Ali Barrass, thank you for that. It's not where I thought you'd go on, but what an absolute banger. Uggies on, Trackies on at Karen Up Shops. Red Rooster, Ripper Sub combo coming right up.
Correct. And then a Boost Juice.
We have Homecoming, Kanye West and Chris Martin. One of your favourite artists, would it be correct to say, Al?
Well, yeah, before we go to the Kanye, Chris Martin Coldplay leg, I do just want to say for the few people that I might have lost over Our Lies, Fireflies, man, that song, I actively couldn't, if you put that on, I was like, fuck, turn it off. That was one of those songs I just could not listen to. I hated it so much. And it was because it was massively popular, Tap Tap Hero, drives you spare, whatever. And truly, for the last 10 years, I've spent the better part of that avoiding that song so hard. And then the other day, Ted, our brother, played it for me. I say the other day, it was like six to 8 months ago, something like that. And we were driving I think he was dropping me at the airport, and it's exactly the kind of song that you need to have playing from a kind of crummy car, like as loud as it goes, so that your whole seat's kind of reverberating a little bit, because that song, I was like, fuck, this is pretty good. And by the end of that, by the third time that rolls around, he's like, I truly was like, oh my God, this song is so good. Me and Ted were like, that planet Earth. It was so, fuck, I forgot how good that song is.
It's a total banger.
It hit 1 billion streams the other day.
Yeah, really.
1 billion streams. And that guy never made a good song ever again after that.
I'm glad I can talk to you about this, because I can't really talk with Matt about this, because he's so deep in the niche culture, and he's been in the DJ scene for 10 years. So he's like,
I'm not listening to fucking Fireplace.
Just pop and that. It's like,
for sure.
But the bias of a really popular song early, before it's you discover it and the subculture discovers it, and then it makes its way up, and SZA, who started as Isaiah Rashad's, girl, and they do a niche shit, and then it turns into a megastar, those straight up, hey there, Delilah, fucking straight to the top of the charts. Oh. It just makes you hate it, and you're like, nah, I don't identify with that, which is what it is. And you're like, totally. nah, don't do it. But then it takes a decade, and you're like, oh.
This song, man, fucking hey there, Delilah, I think would put me to bed if I heard it now. That'd be, don't play it, but that was a tune, man.
It is, only now. There was another one, a few of the boys at Hawthorn, and now Melbourne, rest in peace, CJ, friend of the show, Chainquoth Jath, gonna miss him a lot, but with this new resurgence of dance music and tech music, is sometimes remixes of pop songs, and it makes you hear the core of the song again, the vocals, and the synth, and you're like, wow, that is really a banger.
Such a tune.
It gets you going again.
Mate, Shake It by Metro Station.
Yeah, tune. Yeah.
Tune. Do you know what I'm talking about? You took a second
O'Brien,
then. Yeah. My God. Another one where, had its moment, you forgot about it for 5 years, 10 years, maybe you hear it again, you're like, fucking put me on a dance floor right now. Put me in Ted's shitty car going 100 Ks down the Mitchell Freeway and play that thing 50 out of 50.
Just crank it.
Oh, such a tune. But anyway, Kanye West and Chris Martin, Homecoming, that song, another high school ripper. We were just chatting off air about Kanye because he's very controversial. I'm not a big Kanye stan. I love that song. I love that album. I think I want to say Graduation, that album's from. It's probably, or Homecoming, something. I can see it in my mind, but I can't recall what it is. That little teddy bear shooting into space. But so many songs from that album were so great, and Kanye around that time I feel like was excellent. And then I don't know if PTA listeners agree, but just to resurface that conversation we were just having about how I don't know if I can look past Kanye's, Kanye outside of his music anymore. I didn't really love the kind of twisted sort of last 2 albums or so, 3 albums. I didn't listen to them a lot, but I didn't hear anything that was redeeming enough to compensate for the screaming at Kris Jenner, you know, at the top of his lungs. Like, and to Dan's point, he was like, you know, I don't think he's doing bad things in the same way that, you know, legitimately evil people are doing bad things. But
some other artists as well.
Well, how's that bloke
scene.
Dave the other day? You know, Dave with the E, with the with the 3 that's an E.
No.
This is a bit off topic, but he's like 25. You probably know a song if I played it for you. I think he's like a 23-year-old, 24-year-old, maybe a bit older American artist who like was dating this chick who was like really young, like I'd say like 15, 16 maybe. And she went missing for a year, and they found her in the back of his Tesla that in the bottom of the river, more or less. And like proper, like he's, you know, been pulled off his things. He's in custody or something. I think he's
Heavy.
not. I know he's not properly murdering people. But do you think that you can, just that aside, can you look past? Well, how do you feel about Kanye, or how do you feel about musicians where they've got controversial or unaligning values, but their music is so good?
Look, I think you have to separate. Matt's face would be getting hot right now.
Yes, sorry, Matt.
At home, I hope he's loving this. But no, I think you have to separate the music and the behaviours. The one that pops to mind for me is XXX Tentacion.
Oh, yeah, true.
Who, you know, came up with this like internet culture, anime, Spirited Away type thing, and his music artistry and musical persona was like this rap on rock, super hard, super explicit content. You know, it's crazy. Like some of the stuff him and Ski Master Slump God did, Members Only, Volume 2 or 3 or something, Craig Zen, like a bunch of these guys, like it's artistic expression, it's creative expression is to go into like and embody those like evil creatures.
Jesus. And
like go into that. And I've spoken about some of the artists that I love in the rap game at the moment, and it's people almost like Clobo Cop and people like Stinkin' Slum Rock and Bisque who like adopt those personas, and in their music they go subject content that's really nasty. You know, it's talking about those kind of drive your car off the bridge and you know you got away with it kind of areas. So I think you have to separate the two altogether. But you know, obviously it would be preferable that people always behave in a way that you
can enjoy them as a individual and not feel bad about giving them money when you listen to them.
Yeah, but it's just not that. And I think once everyone realises how different everyone is and how contextual everything is, including art, then it becomes easier to understand. And I think I first grasped that when I learnt from my boy Darcy O'Brien, friend of the show and future guest, that, you know, Kenny Rogers, I'm pretty sure, and Glenn Campbell and half these old country guys who we love, we grew up listening to, like they've all got pretty controversial pasts. Like being a musical artist doesn't always come with the most stable and consistent and a 9 to 5. Like you push the limit, you push the areas being an artist, and I think that's healthy in the art form. So I certainly don't mind, and I'll restrict any more commentary on Kanye, that's for sure. That's for sure. But forget me, you, Ali. We've hit your agenda. It's been fantastic.
Yeah,
I dragged you down to the we need to stay in the Ugg boots at Karen Up for a bit longer. That's what I had in mind. That's why I love hearing your bangers whenever we're at my house having a barbecue and you're like, oh, I've listened to enough fucking moody, washed out techno, Tom, give me the thing. And all of a sudden, we're back on that vibe. So I appreciate you taking us there. But you've got one more item on your list, and it's about some of the artists and things that you've been listening to more recently.
Yeah. No, only because I feel like, especially in the last episode too, and in this one here, I don't feel like new music is a thing that I'm not anymore, or as much as I was, being like, oh, this brand new song. I mean, I do a little bit, but not as frequently as I know you would. desperately seeking new music that anyone hasn't heard before. Like a lot of the stuff that I feel like is new to me isn't new to someone else. So, like I was talking about a song. I don't know. I feel like I get into very cyclical patterns of listening, and which I love. But it means that when a new song that is new kind of lands with me, I love the shit out of it.
It sticks.
And I can talk. It's, I'm never going to come to you and say, hey man, have you heard, Do You Think I'm Sexy by Rod Stewart? Because you're going to be like, yes, bitch. Like every day on Smooth FM, like what are we talking about? But, but I might be able to say, hey, have you heard Chin Up by Sam Fender? Or Baby Steps by Olivia Dean, or any of these ones that are sort of new. And I like that. I did think to myself, I'd love it like a little bit, just to, even if it's just the finishing note or whatever, to discuss or just leave with a few that are on my plate at the moment that I just love, because having new music that's new is such a rare thing for me.
Oh, and it stands the hairs up, don't you reckon? Like when you get a few songs that you really love and that you know are going to be on repeat for a little while, it makes the hairs on your neck stand up, and it's just so nice to know when you jump in your car,
100%.
like bang, Spotify up, like you're into it. It's not like, oh, what should I listen to? Podcast? Am I going silence? It's like exactly what you want to listen to, and you want to get there.
And I don't mind listening to the same 5 in a row, because they're doing the same thing for me, and they're brand new, and I love them. But
do you do that? Do you like hit 5 and exhaust yourself on them until they're done? I do that too. I'm a big liked songs stan. Like what I find is if I Shazam something, or if I'm at a concert, or if someone sent me something and it passes the test, I like it. Like, in Spotify. On Spotify, you can like a song, and it just sort of ends up in a like song playlist with the other 5,000 or whatever. And then I start, every time I get in the car, every time I want to listen to music, I'll start from the top and work my way down, no shuffle, just in the same format that you should be listening to this episode. Respect.
And then work out, once I kind of like it enough, what playlist it lives in. Like, all right, this is one that sits in songs for this year. This is one that sits in boat music. This is one that sits in dad's music. This is one that sits in songs I can play when I'm in the office or whatever. So
that's a way better method than what I'm rolling.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of admin. I will give you that. But
but so is like making a new playlist, naming it Spring, and then
naming it
like having to do a handover for the last 15 songs that you liked to the next playlist, so that you've got a bit of body there, or whatever it is, and it's so many get missed.
Well, I just like I've said before, I love the feeling of going, you're coming over for dinner, and I know I'm putting on the dinner playlist, and that playlist should work in theory. There's a lot of maths involved. For you, it should work if Dan wants to come over for dinner.
Yeah.
It should work if Danielle wants to come over for dinner. It should work if Ted wants to come over for dinner.
And that's the goals. That's the OG goals of playlist making, and it's an art to do.
So you got to vet those ones that come through and say, all right, where does Sam Fender sit in this? Where does Wonder Horse sit in this? Where does Daft Punk sit in this? Where does Massive Attack? So that's a bit of fun, I find.
Well, then I feel like it's a really nice time to bid farewell to our listeners. Thank you so much for joining the first of the Ali Barrass fortnight with our new guest presenter. Matt Dzodzos is getting pretty worried about his job, I reckon, at this part of the episode, because it's been straight fire from Ali. We went to cremations.
Yeah, we went everywhere.
We went to funerals, then we were on the boat for a bit, and now we're at Current. So Ali, thanks for joining us.
No problem. Thank you for having me, listeners. Thanks for having me, Tom and Dan. Thanks for having me, Matt.
Everyone, I hope you've had a fantastic show, and Ali's going to send us off with some of the tunes that are on her playlist right now. This is Pass the Orcs. Ali Barrass, take us away.
Hope you love it, guys.